I do not own the rights to this music. Listen, we're going to talk about these narcissistic kids. I hear a lot of people talk about these narcissistic kids, how they have their little meltdowns, how they have their little temper tantrums, how they have their little whatever. Let me tell you about these narcissistic kids. These kids is demons. Straight demons. I got 2 men child and I got 1 woman child. Now my first man child, he been on his own since he was 15. He did his own thing. He ain't worried me to death. He ain't bother me because he know I'm putting him out the house. Period. You a grown man at 15. You doing what you want to do. You grown. Especially when you start running your mouth back and forth to me. You're grown now because we could have a misdemeanor up in here, maybe a felony. Somebody catching something. But those kids, people don't talk about how those narcissistic kids, they'll ruin your household. They'll ruin your marriage. They'll ruin you getting into a marriage. They'll ruin your jobs. They'll ruin your thoughts. See, one thing about titles, I don't do titles because titles separate your thoughts. Titles will make you not see the soul for who the soul is. So if you separate, oh, that's my child, I always got to be there for my child, I'm going to fall for my child. These are the things I used to say. And my children get in trouble, I'm right there with them. My son, and I'm going to start with my last child, he's 25 years old. He went to prison at 19. He been in there 6 years. I think it was 2018 when he went. And I went to the mountains. And I would tell him, listen, he went, and all parents ain't bad parents, because I definitely wasn't a bad parent. I did discipline my kids. I did tell my kids, you do not go in people's houses. You do not jump around on people's couches. You do not do nothing in nobody's house that you won't do on your own. And you ask, it's a lot more manners in other people's houses. You ask, can you get a drink of water? You ask, can you get up? You ask, can you go over there? Now when you home, you're free to a certain degree. But when they start becoming teenagers, that's when my children start putting fire. Well, my daughter started putting fire under my feet when she was 18. My 25, my last son that God blessed me with, he started putting fire under my feet at the age of 13 going to 14. Breaking in people's houses, skipping school, taking marijuana to school, carrying guns. And I'm out there working my tail off night and day to make sure that my kids had everything I did not have. So don't sit there and say, well, they wasn't raised right. I raised my kids to the best of the best ability that I could. I gave my kids everything that I didn't have. I mean, I would go in debt to get these kids right. I would sacrifice things that I needed for myself to make sure my kids had, so they wouldn't be begging and going down the same pathway I went as a child. Honey, let me tell you, it didn't plan out that way. No, them kids are straight from hell. I don't care what nobody say. These kids is straight demons. And when I was saying that titles messes with, it separates you from your feelings when people say this is your son, and like I was saying, my son went to jail in 2018 for a murder charge. That thing that took me to the floor in all many types of different ways. I had so many different types of emotions. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to think. I didn't even know how to even get a conclusion. It took some time. That one put more sorrow under my feet than enough. Now, their father is not living. He passed away 10 years ago. But that son of mine, he put me through the court system and the system, period. Man, I ain't never been in court so much in my entire life. We got to talk about these narcissistic kids. I'm not trying to stay up here long. I'm going to stay up here just a little bit, but it's going to be a part 2 to these narcissistic kids. Them narcissistic kids will make you lose everything like that narcissistic partner or that narcissistic parent. You got to look at these people as souls. Either they with the light or they not with the light. They in the light or they in the dark. You got to look at them that way, because your kids can make you end up losing everything too. I'm a witness. I am a living witness. Credit score ugly, debt ugly, paying bills late, going borrowing money to get out of my 401k and stuff to get lawyers and bond money. Man, we gotta talk about these narcissistic kids. I'll be back with part 2.